Welcome back to the Enough is Enough podcast, where we give those living with narcissists the tools to escape. I won't just tell you to escape and get out. I will. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. That's my ministry. Today's topic, my child is dating a narc. There's not much worse than your daughter or son or close friend dating a narcissist or marrying a narcissist. You know the narc is going to ruin your loved one's life, but your loved one is blinded and in love with a monster. What can you do? In this video, I'll tell you what to do. There are many, many persons in this situation. Your loved one is dating a narc, engaged to a narc, living with a narc, or married to a narc. That's why I created my new video series, Someone I Love is in Love with a Narcissist. How to get your person to wake up and break up. They're in a fog. They're in denial. Codependent haze. We're going to try to get them out of it. Today's podcast is based on this video series, which you can find only on my website, daviddclarkphd.com. That's Clark with an A. We are believing, me and my team, that God's going to use this video series to rescue many loved ones from their narcs. There are things you can do, and I'll tell you what to do and what not to do in this whole process. Before I launch into today's content, if you want to join our Get Rid of the Narc team, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We would love to have you on the team. Many have joined. Okay, today's topic, daughter dating a narc. This applies to any loved one dating a narc, but in this case, it's a daughter. I'm going to read portions of a message I got from a dad whose daughter is with a narc and make my comments along the way like I do. Now, if your son is dating a narc, my principles are the same. It doesn't make a difference. Or any loved one. The dad says in his email, the man I believe is a covert narc broke up with my daughter. I have been praying for this outcome for 2 years. You know he was. My wife and I's lack of acceptance for the narc has caused tremendous pain between us and our child. Absolutely. I say the narc has enjoyed causing a rift between you and your child, and he used that rift to draw her closer to him. Absolutely he did. The dad says, continuing, the narcissist is a man who presents himself as a very godly man. Oh, this is a covert type. He is very involved in a church, very close to the pastor. I'll bet he is. I say classic covert narcdom. He seems to be a godly man, and his pastor and church love him to death. He's got them fooled. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because in other parts of this email, the dad went into detail about how this guy is a monster and has hurt his daughter. Anyway, I'm not going into that, but I'm just telling you. I got the sketch. The dad says, the narc gave my daughter a convincing story of how God told him they shouldn't be together. He broke up with our daughter just before a major presentation she was to give at her job. Her career is going so well. Oh, look at the timing. I say, of course the narc used God for his breakup reason. Covert narcs do a lot of God told me this and God told me that. God's not telling them anything because they don't know God through Jesus. And the timing of his dumping your daughter was no accident. He wants to crater her career so she'll be less successful than him and dependent on him. Here's the kicker to the story. Listen to this. Some of you probably have seen this coming. The dad says, we were rejoicing at the breakup. I know you were. But, here's the but now, with his pastor's help, this clueless pastor, he is in the process of winning our daughter back. He broke up with her, and now the narc wants her back. Now he is saying, perhaps God only meant they shouldn't be together for a time. Liar. We are watching our daughter turn back to a man who broke her heart so badly and controlled her for 2 years. Oh my goodness. Here's what I say. What a clever, cunning, covert narc monster. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's loving every minute of it. He loved developing a relationship with your daughter, fooling her into believing he is a godly man. He loved discovering he controls your child and that he can manipulate her. He knows he can do anything to her, and she'll still take him back. He loved the drama and the pain of breaking her heart and using God to do it. He loved seeing her suffer. He loved the setup operation for winning her back. It's what he planned all along. It's exactly how narcs operate. He knew he'd break up, and he knew he'd win her back. He is loving the process of getting her back. It's a thrill. It's an adventure. It's a controller's dream. It's a challenge. It's evil. The narc knows you and your spouse don't approve of him, which makes his victory all the sweeter. The narc wants you to suffer too. Hey, if I can win a daughter away from her precious parents, oh, what a victory. Normal people don't think that way. Narcs do. He would never admit it, of course, but it's true. Here's the main question this dad has for me. He says, I always desired to live as Christ would have me live and fight intense feelings of guilt for feeling like I'm fighting another Christian in the spirit realm. How can we, my wife and I, not feel like we are betraying how Jesus tells us to treat our fellow believers? This is a sensitive guy. He's a good man and a godly one. I say, number one, the narc is not a fellow believer. Don't worry about that. If he's a full-blown narc, and I believe he isn't a believer at all. He pretends to be, but he's not. So no worries about the fellow believer thing. Number two, you and your spouse are in a vicious, high-stakes spiritual war against Satan and this narc. Ephesians 6:12 makes it clear what kind of spiritual war you are in. Here's what that verse says, Ephesians 6:12, Paul. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. That's what's happening in this world all the time. Number three, this narc is also your enemy. Satan wants to use him to destroy your daughter and your family. Number four, Jesus fought the Pharisees, his enemies. Jesus fought the money changers, his enemies. David fought the Philistines, his enemies and God's enemies. You and your wife need to fight Satan and this narcissist. You need to fight smart. You need a biblically sound, effective war plan. I told them, and I'm telling you, I've got a war plan for you. A war plan that will empower you and give you the best chance to turn your precious daughter away from this narc forever. My war plan is for all of you who have a loved one with a narc. Daughter, son, nephew, close friend, dad, mom, doesn't make any difference. It's my video series. And it's called Someone I Love is in Love with a Narcissist. You can get it only on my website, davideclarkphd.com, Clark with an E. Together with God's word and God's power, let's fight this miserable narc. In fact, all narcs, and win. Let's do our best to save our loved ones.